Right, hi everyone. Sorry about that beginning. As I said, Laura and I are. It's quite noisy here, so if it gets too noisy, someone just wave, and we're doing our best with what we've got. So we are on our way traveling up to our leadership event. So that's where we are. It's a little bit crazy. Um, so excited to bring this to you today. We are going to talk to you today about the importance of new customers. I see a few people commented and said things like I'm really struggling with asking people to join at the minute because I just haven't got a big enough customer base. And I think that was something that really stuck with me. And I was like, do you know what? This is something that's so important for you to start with. If you are struggling with this, it's completely natural. But your customer base is the most important part of your business because, like we talked about already, if you are sponsoring all of your customers, you need your customer base to still be able to get your 500 PRV. It literally is your bread and butter of your business. I always say this is like when people say I'm struggling to sponsor, I always will ask people, take a step back then and tell me how big your customer base is. What's happening in your customer base? Because 9 times out of 10, it's not a confidence issue or a sponsoring issue or that you can't sponsor. It's just that your customer base isn't big enough. And that's my honest like answer to that. At the minute, probably if I actually look at my own customer base, actively buy-in is probably between 150 to 200 people that buy on rotation. And the reason you need that customer base, I like to think of my customers on a bit of a 3-month rotation. I don't want to be asking the same people to buy from me every single month because they're going to get to a point where they've got like a stockpile of scensty that they just don't need all this scensty. And then they get to a point where they just stop buying them together, right? And you're like, well, what have I done wrong? And it's not that you haven't done anything wrong, but they just physically can't use the amount of scensty that they're sitting on at the minute. So I like to think of my customers. If somebody buys this month, of course, I'm always going to follow up with them for next month. And there's going to be that offer, but there isn't an expectation. I don't need that person to buy from me for another 2 or 3 months because I know that I've got enough customers that are going to be purchasing on rotation as we're working through. Not only that, someone's screaming and my brain's like, I'm trying to zone in. If you've got that rotation of customers, it means that you can have the conversations. It means that you've got more people to have conversations with about joining. So finding new customers should literally be your main focus. It should be something that is in your income producing activities every single month. It needs to become as much of a lifestyle, in my opinion, as finding new team members. And I literally would die. I'd die on that hill. I say it all the time. And tattoo. I should get it tattooed because honestly, I it's 9 times out of 10, that is going to be where you need to start. That's going to be where your problem is. Is my signal gone again? So things that really, really help, things that are working in my business right now. Hold on, bear with me. I don't know whether that's going to help. Sorry, guys, we're good. That are really, really working for me. I have got a lot of ex-team members that left scensty that don't want to sell scensty anymore. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But what I am really doing is working those ex-team members as shopping links and parties because I want them to share with me their old customer base. And a lot of people will say, well, I just don't know where to start. And for me, that's something that I'm utilizing right now. I am reaching out to people that used to be on my team and new customers that are buying a lot, obviously, and offering them like a party link and really homing in on the host coaching because I've done this before where I've given out many a party links and no one does anything. They don't bring you back any orders. But genuinely, for me, you've got to be doing the host coaching. You've got to tell them what to do with it. I think of it from the point of view that your shopping links and your party links that you're giving out, you've got to think of your customers like team members. It's exactly the same. You wouldn't expect a team member to go, there's your party link, off you go and find orders. You need to tell them what to do. Okay. And it's exactly the same. Customers, treat them the same way that you would treat a team member, help them the same way that you would treat a team member, and you will start to get results. Those orders will come in. Honestly, I've been so shocked over the last 2 months where I've really put focus into this, where I've had probably 10 to 15 new customers off of the back of 2 or 3 customers that are working like these shopping links, and the orders are coming in and I'm like, this is it, we're partying without physically partying. Now, I'm all about partying because I love the fact that you can do a party and sit there for an hour, 2 hours, and you can meet 20 new people. I'm here for, like, if someone said to me, come and do a party in my house, I am there. I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna do that because that is the quickest way to meet new people. It is the quickest way to get bulk PRV, and it is the quickest way to find new team members. But for me, the home parties, I've been a struggle. So this is my pivot. This is where I'm working right now. And this is where I'm putting that focus into finding new customers. So if you are really, really struggling with, I don't know where to start, I'm struggling with who to ask, I haven't got enough customers, then this is that starting place. You can't, like we said yesterday, we're not spamming, we're not just asking anybody. We're going to actually make them customers first, leading with that product. Right. I'm going to hand it over to you. Look, no, it's Katie next. Yep. Sorry, that's me done. Is that? Sorry, guys.
You were fine. Okay, it's my turn.
Go for it.
Okay.
Go back.
So the first thing before you even focus on sponsoring, let's say that you want to sponsor, I want you to reflect on your business first. If you are struggling to get 500 PRV, you don't need to sponsor. I say that with so much love in my heart, but if you are struggling every month to hit 500 PRV, you sponsoring is a waste of time because you can sponsor 20 people and you will never promote if you are struggling to hit 500 PRV. You need 500 PRV to hit leadership numbers. So it's almost like you're wasting your time. You sponsor 1 million people and it won't matter. And that's one thing I love about this business. The people doing this call with you guys, we're all superstar directors. We never get to a place where we can promote to the highest point of the company and sit back and say, I don't need to work anymore. That doesn't work. In fact, I have a group of almost 1,500, and I'm 99% of the time I am the highest in PRV in my entire group. Because you have to show the way if you're a leader. And if you're struggling to hit 500 PRV and you go to sponsor, how are you going to teach your new teamie to get PRV if you're not even getting PRV? So here's the thing. Let's say, I want you guys to comment and engage with me too, because I want to know where you guys are at and what you guys need as we continue doing this training series. If you're struggling to get customers, I want you to think everybody has at least one customer, correct? You at least have one customer. I said this yesterday, but you need people to have a successful business. This is a people business. You have to have people. The more people, the better. I want you to reach out to your customers and be honest with them. Say, I am really focused on growing my customer base. Would you help me? There's going to be seasons in your business where your focus is going to change. Example, last January, my mom passed very suddenly. I won't sponsor nobody. And I said that to my leaders. I'm not in a season where I need to sponsor, where I need to train, where I need to lead. I'm just not. So my focus is going to be customer service and growing my customer base. And I did that for a few months. And because I did that for a few months, when fall hit, I was so laser focused on growing my customer base and partying that when fall hit, I had so many people to have sponsoring conversations with. There's going to be seasons where you can do it all, where you can sponsor, book parties, and do them all. But you have to be very laser focused on your personal business and where you're at in your personal business. You need to put your blinders on and not pay attention to what everybody else is doing in all the groups. Rule of thumb, if you're in groups and they overwhelm you, turn notifications off. All my notifications are turned off on everything. I ain't got no notifications because I have to be laser focused on what I'm doing. I am not worried about what Winnie's doing, what Lisa's doing. I'm worried about what Kay Glasser's doing. And my PRV is always going to be first. I don't train anybody until my 500 PRV. That 500 is a minimum for me. My goal the first week of every month is to have at least 1,000 PRV. By the 5th. That's my personal goal. Then I can focus to sponsoring or leading or training. So how are you going to grow your customer base? Because that's what this call is about, right? And I just went on a little ramble. Ask your customers first. When customers give you orders, I want you to get in the mindset of, do you want dessert with that? Do you want fries with that? Do you want dipping sauce with that? Instead of taking that order, I want you to ask them, would you like to try and get that for free? You can share my testers. If they're local, you can share my testers. And if you get 8 people to order a 6-pack of wax, that's a qualifying party for you, and you can get your 6-pack for free. I want you to start thinking free, half off. If people are spending $90 on a warmer, I want you to ask them, do you want to try and get that half off instead of spending full price on it? Ask. And keep it simple. Don't be crazy. Listen, do not be crazy and send them messages that says, hey, I want to see if you wanted to book a party with me. Don't say party either, because listen, I get asked almost on the daily to book party for somebody to book a party with me for another direct sales. Pampered Chef is one of them. They send me this long novel and I don't even read it, because just tell me what you want. That's what I want. Don't tell me. Don't say, hey, will you book a party with me? The minimum is $250. If you get $250 in orders, you get a free half off item and you get $25 in free product. It's too much. They don't want to know all that. They don't need to know all that. You'll be overwhelming people before they even say yes. We don't want to overwhelm people before they say yes, okay? We don't want to do that. That's just silly nonsense. People don't want to hear all that. Instead, lead with intention. If there's, like, we have a new catalog, say, hey, we have a perpetual party reward. I use that like it's nobody's business. If I have a customer that has their eye on a warmer, a $50 warmer, and I tell them, hey, if you get $500 in orders, I'll give you this warmer for free. They just hear free. They don't know it's going to cost me half off. Be very strategic with how you ask. Now, I'm in a season where I have a huge local customer base, but I also have a customer base that's not local, that order online all the time. I posted in my VIP page, because I do have a VIP page. It's more intentional. It's more private. They get more of me. And I said, would any of my non-locals be willing to help me grow my customer base this season? And your customers want to support you. They want to help you. So I have 3 online parties going on right now, because I had 3 customers said, yes, absolutely, I'll help you. So I messaged them and I said, I'm going to set you up a Facebook group. All you have to do is add your friends and family to it, and I'll do the rest. Then I personally messaged the guest, introduce myself to them, build a relationship with them, add them on Facebook, relationship building. So even if the party flops, and I have flopped parties all the time, they already introduced me to their whole customer base, their friends and family. So I have a party going on right now this week. Her name's Melissa. Her niece added me on Facebook. I woke up to like 50 notifications. She has gone through my whole Facebook and liked and loved every post of my children. If y'all on my Facebook, y'all know my youngest told her teacher this morning that her mommy had a beard and a mustache that she plucks every morning on the way to school. So there's that. Okay, my youngest is savage. But people get to see me. It really do be your own kids, y'all. She had me worked up first thing this morning, telling her whole class and all the parents and the teacher that her mom had a mustache and a beard. Okay, neither the tit for tat. Ask people for referrals. The biggest compliment of your business is referrals. I'm going to share, when this call's over, things that I do intentionally on my packaging. I have a sticker that says tag me in your order and in your mail, and I will put you into a drawing for a prize at the end of the month. They don't need to know what the prize is. It's going to be a bar to send in a month. It's going to be something I have on hand. But when they tag me, it introduces me to their people on their social media. I'm very strategic with how I want people to see my stuff. Share your packaging on Facebook, okay? I'm the packaging queen. I love tissue paper. I love me some tissue paper. I share every time I package up an order, every single time. I share when I'm dropping off orders, because I make Brinley's butt drop orders off, since she's so savage and thinks she's grown. She's 4 by BTW. I make her drop orders off. I make my son drop orders off and package up orders. It's a family business. People get to see you. So ask your customers for referrals. Do you have friends and family that love this stuff? Can I open up you a shopping link that you can share with them? Our new catalog just released. Ask them. Be honest with your customers. I want to grow my customer base. Would you be willing to tote my bag of testers with you to work? People that work make great hosts. Set that jank in the break room and keep on trucking. Get from, even if you only have 5 customers, go through that list of 5 customers, 2 customers, 3 customers, and ask them, would you be willing to help me grow my customer base? I'm in a season where I want to grow. Partying is the king of your business. And if you are not partying, you are doing your business a huge disservice. And I say that with so much love because I hear people tell me all the time, I struggle with PRV. And then I say, well, how many parties do you have booked? None. Nobody wants to party with me. Okay, well, what are you sending to ask? And then they screenshot this huge novel. And I'm like, sister, you lost them on the first line. No, no. Also, how many of you guys do local deliveries? Drop in the comments. You do local deliveries? Here's a rule of thumb to cheat the system. You ready? I do this all the time. I'm about to do this today because I got 2 orders to drop off. When I drop these 2 orders off, you know what I'm going to say? I got a bag of the new smells in my car. How about you share it with the people that work? Because I'm dropping these 2 orders off work. They're going to see me drop these orders off. And I'm going to hype them up. Because you're your only hype squad. Look, I just hyped the 2 ladies up at the gas station because they in there fighting. They ain't fighting no more. I done hyped them up. I told them to stop that nonsense. Them fighting. Don't make no sense. You hype them up. So you take them orders in. When you have an order to drop off, when you message them and say, hey, your order's in, I'm about to drop it off, I want you to follow it up with a, can I bring my smell good bag so your next order can be free. 2 birds, 1 stone. You're booking a party and dropping an order off at the same time. It's not hard. Listen, this is not hard. You just have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Get comfortable with putting yourself out there. The worst they can say is no. And if they say no, be a smarty McSmart face and just say, okay, well, free stuff for the next person and keep on trucking. Okay? You just got to get over hearing people ghost me. I was supposed to drop a bad party off with a girl last week. I was in the work parking lot. She never came out. She ghosted me. She said yes to the party. And I pulled up and I said, I'm here. She read it and she never responded. Rude. Freaking rude. But you know what? I went and asked the girl down the road that works at the doctor's office if she wanted a bag, and I dropped it off. The bag's going somewhere today, and you need to set in your mind every day that you are not going to stop until you get a yes. I challenge, compete with yourself. Compete with yourself. There's no better feeling than testing yourself and pushing yourself. And every day when I get mad and I'm like, I ain't got no bag parties booked, but damn it, this bag ain't coming home with me. It's going somewhere. And I will hunt around to drop my bag off with somebody to get a party booked, okay? Because parties are king. Parties are king. So grow your own customer base. You can do it. Get on social media. Talk about, listen, hold up a bag of the testers and say, who wants some free stuff? I'm on a mission to give away as much free stuff in the month of March as I can. Who wants it? Who wants a free warmer? Look, that's not out of compliance. They don't know what I'm doing. Who wants a free warmer? Be the warmer of the month. Okay, they don't know. They don't know what I'm doing. Nobody knows what I'm doing, but y'all consultants want to message me and ask me everything I'm doing. And sometimes I be salty sometimes because think outside the box. Who wants a free warmer? And people are going to say, yeah, I want a free warmer. And I'm going to message them and say, girl, you take my bag and get you a free warmer. Okay? The hustle's real. What's that little bunny say in Zootopia? It's a hustle, honey. It's a hustle, honey. Okay? So hustle like that little bunny in Zootopia. I'm out. I'm done. I'm done messing with y'all.
Oh, Katie Laster. Love you so much. Love you so much. So, I mean, we could just end the training right there because everything they said is right on. I will say that I want you to think your business of buckets. This is how I'm a visual learner. So you have a bucket. You have a bucket of all your customers, right? Whether I'm not even gonna say customers, I'm gonna say contacts. You have a bucket of contacts. And since he makes this really easy for us, but you have a bucket of contacts, and those contacts are going to be 3 things. They're going to be customers, they're going to be hosts, and they're going to be teamies or potential teamies, potential hosts, potential customers, however you want to look at it. That bucket has to be full. Okay. And we got to keep that bucket full, which means we're always looking for new customers. Okay. We're always looking for new contacts. However, you get those contacts there's so many different ways, and we're going to share some of those ways in the group. Um, But that bucket has to be full. And if that bucket is not full, then that's what we have to focus on before we start talking about hosts and before we start talking about teammates, right? Um, Also in your workstation, Cincy is now showing us exactly how many new customers we have. So I want you to go to your workstation and I want you to sign in, and on the main page, it's gonna say, I had this pulled up and it logged me out, new customers, okay? And this is something that they just started in the last few months. Right here on the front, on the first page, under your performance, where'd it go? It's going to say customer engagement. I'm sorry, under customer engagement. And the top left, it's going to show you how many new customers you already have for March. And then under that, it's going to say year to date total. And that's going to show you how many new customers you have for the year so far. That's where you're going to keep yourself accountable. Okay? You're going to make a goal of how many new customers you want a month and how many you want by the end of the year. The stats they shared at SFR last year on this blew my mind because here's the thing. With Cincy, you can have a hobby, you can have a side hustle, you can have a business. If you're on this training, you're watching this live or on a replay, I'm going to assume you want a business and you don't want a hobby, or you're trying to transition it from a hobby or a side hustle to a business. That number needs to be as big as possible. Honestly, I would say 10 to 20 a month, new customers. And that would be a minimum. That I want y'all to take a screenshot of that every single month. And I want you to keep yourself accountable with that every single month, because that is telling you exactly how many new people you're meeting. If you want to be sponsoring 1 to 2 people a month to stay consistent in your business, 3 to 4, whatever that looks like, that number needs to be high. And I would honestly say 10 to 20 new customers a month. So it's March. So we should have 30 new customers minimum already for the year if we're building a business. Okay. So I want y'all to make that a point in your business to track. Katie hit on this, but 500 is on our comp plan. That is not a goal. Sorry, not for a business. That is a minimum. That is the minimum you have to build a business, okay? And she said I don't even remember what she said. We celebrate in our group 500 on the 5th. We celebrate active on the 5th, and for leaders, we celebrate 500 on the 5th. That means by the 5th of the month, you have your minimum of what you need to be paid at title, okay? Honestly, we're reaching big, we want 2K by mid-month. We want to have that bonus, that sales bonus squared away. So we know that the second half of the month we can focus on our teammates, we can train, we know our PRV is squared away. And we don't have to worry about it. Are we still getting PRV after the halfway mark? Yes, we are. But it's at our minimum goal, right? And these are just things to strive for. If that's not what you're doing right now, that's okay. That's okay. These are goals to reach towards. Yes, if you don't have that now, it is okay. That is a goal to work towards. And here's the thing, once you start getting 2K by the 5th, then you're gonna be like, all right, I'm gonna do 3K by the 15th. Okay, I'm gonna do 4K by the 15th. We're going for 7K this month. And I'm sharing those numbers because it's possible. We got to stop playing small. We got to stop with the mentality of scarcity in our business. We are I hear it so much right now of scarcity in our business. We have to stop with the scarcity. There are billions of people in this world. We're in what, 13 countries around the world? We can sell and share Scentsy to all of those people. Okay. So that scarcity mindset, that onesie twosie BS that we're playing right now, we got to stop. We got to think arrows out. We got to think everybody wants free Scentsy. Everybody wants to smell good. If you stink, you ain't for me. Hello. We're going to stop that, right? We have a brand new product. We have so much to offer that our scarcity mindset, it stops today. It stops today because we are getting 500 by the 5th. We are getting our 2K by the 15th. And if it didn't happen this month, and we're going to start working on it now. And so by June, we are having those big booming businesses because then that's going to correlate to a big booming paycheck. And who doesn't like a big booming paycheck? I like a big booming paycheck. Parting will solve all your problems. A wise lady called Cassidy. I just made her a new name. Katie Lassiter once said, partying will solve all of your problems. Party, the word party is not a one size fit all. So I think a lot of people think to themselves, party means this or a party looks like that. I like to call them sin events because I personally am trying to get away from the name party because that has a negative connotation, at least in the US. People don't want to party, but people do like free stuff. They do like rewards. They do like half price items. They like to get things on sale. I am a thrifting queen. I don't pay full price for anything. And I'm definitely not paying full price for my Scentsy. Okay. I will say though, before I joined Scentsy, how many people offered for me not to pay for my Scentsy? Zero. No one offered me to have a party. No one told me I didn't have to pay full price. I couldn't afford Scentsy at the full price before I started. But no one offered to give it to me free or half off. You don't want to be that person where they're like, no, my consultants never told me I didn't have to pay full price, right? But it's going to solve all your problems because what we call a party, what we call a sin event, pretty much selling in groups, that's what we want to do. We want to sell in groups. We want to give not only our customers the free and half price, but we want to sell in groups. So we want to get a group of people together and we want to share what Scentsy has to offer. And that's going to be your best way, your easiest way, your fastest way to grow your business. In 2019, when I decided I wanted a business and not a side hustle anymore, I focused on partying. I booked parties like it was my life, and it was. And that's all I did was party. And that's when things boomed because my inner circle then became another circle, then became another circle. And it was like an earthquake went off and it rippled. That ripple effect went crazy because it got to the point where I had hosts where I was, and it's still to this day, I'm like, how did I meet you? And then I have to go back to, oh, so and so had a party, and then she booked a party, and then she booked a party. And one of my teammates, I don't know if she's on here, we're having lunch the other day. I was like, how did I meet you? I met her because her mom found me on Facebook and was a customer. And I asked if anybody knew anyone that would want to start this business. And she said, yeah, my daughter would be awesome at this. She tagged her in a post. Boom. She's killing it. Okay. All of those partying, all that partying is going to introduce you. It's going to fill that bucket up of contacts. Okay. The last, let me make sure. Let me look at my notes because I can't do stuff on the fly like some of these ladies do. Always PRV is this might make some of y'all mad, but PRV, I believe, is one of the things that you can control in your business. Okay, you can't control who works this business. You can't control who wants to do this business with you, but you can control your sales in your business because you getting sales is a matter of you going out there and finding those sales. Katie just gave you some examples of how to find those sales. If you're sitting at whatever right now, what day is it? 25. We have what, 5 days left in this month? Maybe, I don't know, 5-ish days. You can sell 1,000 more. You can sell 2,000 more right in this month. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. You can do that if you put your mind to it and you work towards it. PRV is the one thing in this business that you can control in your business. And I want you to build it so big. I want you to shock yourself with how much Scentsy you're selling. Okay. And I'm speaking to myself too. This is the kind of hype that goes on in here silently. People say, oh, well, you just motivated me. You helped me so much. Guess what? It goes on. It's crazy up here. Let me tell y'all, first of all. But second of all, I'll wake up sometimes and I'm like, all right, we're selling 2K today. Let's do it. Let's do it. We got to do it. We got to do the work for the things that we want. Okay. So I want y'all to build it big and fill those buckets up. All righty, Laura.
Hello. Hello. Right. Okay. Well done. Not well done. Thank you. I don't need to say well. I was so involved. I was like, oh, well done. That's brilliant. Right. Okay. A lot of the things, guys, that I have just put some notes while I was listening. A lot of the things are going to overlap, which was what I've said, but obviously I'm going to give my take on it. But actually, that should tell you all that is the simplicity of this business. There is no magic formula. There is no secret that we're giving you. We're giving you all the secrets. We all do them. We all just do them in our own little ways. But what I just want to take on there from what Wick said is you are in control of how many conversations you have. You are in control of how many people you reach out to. You need to remember that circle of control at all times. Nobody else can do that bit for you. So that is, again, like my lovely friend sitting next to me here says, and she will die on that hill,
finding new customers is literally where your business is going to grow. And right back in the beginning, I'm going to take you on a little trip down memory lane. People always say like, oh, you know, I don't go anywhere to find new customers, or I don't know how I'm going to find my new customers. Do you have a job? People that go to work always say, I don't have time to do scensty. I do scensty full time now, right? So I am not going to a place of work. When I first started, I had 3 jobs. I literally wasn't in my house. I never saw my husband. I mean, he might have liked that better. I don't know. But, you know, we'll just say. But when I started scensty, I didn't really know what I was doing. I just loved the product, and I used to take my bag everywhere, and I used to talk about it. I also partied. That was a big thing for me as well, and has been to this day. But exactly like that. So when I started, just to paint you a little picture, when people say like, oh, I don't have time to work my scensty business, it's okay for you because you do this full time. I do now. Do you know how much more you can procrastinate when you've got all day? Believe me, it is now a skill. I am very, I was going to say I'm very driven, and I like writing lists. But so now I am successful because I make myself successful because I'm very disciplined in my habits. But when I first went full time, I'll be honest, I used to think, oh, I'll just go for breakfast. I'll just do this. I'll just do this. And then it's 2:00 and I've got to pick up my kids in an hour and I've done nothing. Okay. So it is not easy for people that have all the time in the world. It is busy people are the best at this business. So first of all, you need to stop with the excuses and stop saying, I don't have time to work my scensty business. Because if you are going out into the world and you are seeing people with noses, like that's the only prerequisite for somebody being a scensty customer. Okay. If they've got a nose, they're good. Right. There are millions. Like, I'm just going to show you. Right, look, I'm in the service station. Look, there's a lot of men in here. Maybe they need pregnant. Maybe they need stuff in their car. But what I'm saying is, you need to think bigger. You need to, like, when you first start, people have said so many times to us, like to us all, oh well, you know, and my friends and family don't want to buy. Okay, that's not where you start. You know, it's okay if your friends and family don't want to buy it. There are millions and billions of people in this world. So you need to start thinking bigger. That is the first thing. Again, just to take on what Wick said, we're not playing small here. We want to dive into your customers' networks and into their networks and into their networks. And if you are going to a place of work or to a playgroup or to somewhere, wherever, I don't know, you're going to places with people with noses, you can sell scensty. So when I first started, I had 3 jobs. I used to teach fitness classes in the community. I was a midday assistant in my children's school. And I also used to waitress 2 evenings a week and all day on a Sunday. Okay. I literally was here, there, and everywhere. And all I used to do was take my whiff bag everywhere. And I'm not even exaggerating. I used to go to my classes. It'd be on the desk when people signed in. They'd have a smell. I'd take their orders. I'd go to the restaurant. I'd put the whiff bag in the back office. And people would smell it. And then at the end of my shift, I would go in and people would have left me orders. When I was going into the school, I just talked about scensty and never stopped. Like literally never stopped, like 9 years later. So think about that, because then once you've got those networks in, then you're going to follow up, then you're going to talk about having bag parties, then you're going to do that. What I am going to do, I'm just going to give you a few of the little examples of how I've networked over the last 2 years, and it's resulted in PRV and it's resulted in future customers. Because I don't want to keep it too long, but you need to always have your scensty goggles on. I know Lisa talked about that the other day. Always have your scensty goggles on, okay? We have host rewards that we can utilise into our business. Yes, we do, obviously, they are for hostesses, okay? They are for hostesses. However, we do have the privilege, I was going to say luxury, it's actually a privilege that scensty let us do this. So, you know, you're going to get fragrance flowers for free every now and again for yourself. You're going to get scent circles that you can give to people. You need to have your scensty goggles on. I'll think about opportunities where there are going to be people. So I'm just going to give you a few examples that to this day still bring me in PRV into my business. So the first one I've written down is a new cafe opened in the area. I went into the cafe and I said, I'd like to gift you this fragrance flower for your toilet. My details are obviously on it with my QR code. I'm not saying your toilet smells bad, but I'd like to do that. This is my business. The gentleman put the flower in there. I then got a message later on where he ordered flowers, and what else did he have? Oh, it was when we had hand soaps as well. And then I actually moved away from that area now, and he still continues this to this day to order on my website. So that was one. The second one, the drive, I gifted him a scent circle. If I'm honest, thinking maybe he would want a gift for him or his wife. He then proceeded to buy, it's not as many now, he just buys sporadically, but there was a period of about 6 months where he used to order 80 cent circles from me every single month that he would then give to his customers when he'd, you know, the world's changed. That might then grow again. And the last one I'm going to tell you about is in my current house where I am, we've got builders next door. Outside my house, I live on the same road as the school, and I was literally had my scensty stall. The builders came over, they were like, "Oh, what's this?" He wanted a hamper for his wife. Well, it was actually my husband. My husband actually said he bought a hamper. His wife has since ordered on my website. So obviously that is then dialing into other people's networks. So they're just 3 examples, guys, of being out in the world, thinking where you can get scensty under people's noses. Always have your scensty classes on. And the biggest one I just want to end on is, with anything in your scensty business, you need to make a decision. Like the girls have all said, you need to make a decision that you want this to grow. You need to make a decision that this is going to happen. If you tell yourself, yeah, I might grow my scensty business this year, you need to be more direct, more firm with yourself, and you don't let yourself down, right? You make a decision and then you go and take the action to make that happen. And that's me done for that. I'm going to share the homework with you. I'm going to come over here as well, mate. So the homework
Remember it.
yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. I can't remember it. The list that you've already made. So obviously, all the tips we've given you should hopefully help you add to that list. The list that you've already made, the first part of your homework is we'd like you to look at that list and think about each one of those people on that list, how scensty can bless their lives, what scensty could do for them and for their circumstance. That's it. Oh, and the second part, we wanted to reach out.
Oh, I was going to add on that, guys. Yeah, one extra part, which was to reach out, and it fits really well with everything that's been said today, is to reach out to 5 of your customers, not to ask them to join, but to ask them, do they want free scensty, or can they help your business grow? Can they give you a referral? With all the things that you've learned today, action with 5 customers, something that you've learned off of the back of today's training, because that is going to be the game changer for your business. That's going to be the game changer. Okay.
And we are out.
Love it. All righty, guys. Thanks for joining us. And
Thank you so much.
See y'all tomorrow.
Bye.